I'd like to just take this opportunity to talk about the future for just a few minutes, and then I'm hoping that you will have the time to stay on and have a chat and have a glass of water or wine and something to eat. But I think the future directions is particularly important, and just before I do go into the future directions around the chapters, 3 of the chapters should be available on the website tomorrow. That is Principles of OHS Law, the User-Centred Safe Design Approach and Organisational Culture will be available sometime tomorrow on the website. And as Dave Clark has said, they are free. Anybody can access them freely just by going to the website. Organisations and training bodies who wish to use them, then we ask them to contact us about a licence to do that. But the whole principle of the body of knowledge that underpinned WorkSafe Victorian WorkCover Authority's funding was that it be freely available to professionals, and we continue that. The risk and decision-making chapter will not be available until December. So it is on the way, but the 3 of them will be available tomorrow with risk and decision-making later in December, and we will send out a bulletin when that becomes available. The other thing is, you may have noticed that we're video recording the presentations today, and within a couple of weeks they should be available on the Accreditation Board, the Body of Knowledge and the SIA website, and I'm hoping that Safe Work Australia will also have a link to the videos. So hopefully we can spread the word much further. Now, a couple of things about future directions. I feel the body of knowledge is making a huge impact upon the profession in Australia through accreditation of the courses, through certification, and hopefully through professionals accessing, reading it, using it for CPD. But it is also having a major influence internationally. And there is INCHPO, which is the International Network of Safety and Health Practitioner Organisations, is promoting the OHS Body of Knowledge internationally. So I think that's a great endorsement for our work that we've been doing. The challenge doesn't end. We identified, as I said, 18 months ago that there was 4 chapters that we felt were important to be added to the body of knowledge. There are ongoing gaps that we think we need to address, and the challenge at the moment, the areas that we are looking at as potential new chapters include, we've split them at this stage into core concepts and practice concepts, and one of them is around organisations and adaptive capacity, where these are just working titles, but that's around concepts of error, concepts of organisations dealing with complexity, technology, etc. The other one is leadership, and leadership has been mentioned around culture. Leadership seems to be mentioned every time we talk about health and safety, and I know there's a couple of the research bodies are looking at leadership, and it is part of the Australian strategy. But what we're looking at here is leadership from the OHS professional's point of view. What does the OHS professional need to know about leadership? The third one under the concepts area is occupational health, and this isn't going to be a be-all and end-all to everybody, but it's around the generalist. And what does the generalist need to know about fitness for work? This becomes more topical with ageing workforces. So these are topics that we are in the process of developing project plans for, or project briefs. The practice ones that we're looking at is measuring OHS performance. And there was a comment earlier on about red tape being an issue. Not quite sure what we should call the chapter, but there has been some work on rules, procedures, documentation, how much is enough, how much is negative, and what sort, etc. So the idea is to explore some of those. The third one under the practice area is we currently have a chapter on the OHS professional as a critical consumer of research. The one that we are toying with as a thought is the OHS professional as a researcher, as a workplace-based researcher, if you like. There's lots of things happening in workplaces, lots of interventions, but how much is there rigorous evaluation of those interventions? So what sort of things can underpin, what sort of practice should an OHS professional be aware of about research practices that they can apply in the workplace? That's just the thought bubbles floating around at this stage, and they are just thought bubbles because without funding we're not going to be able to progress them. So the Accreditation Board, the Safety Institute, needs to think about how we're going to look at the funding. And while I can take the opportunity, there are some information, fact sheets there about the body of knowledge. There's also one about sponsorship if people are, organisations are interested, because we need to look at different models of funding if we're going to progress that. So just to emphasise for people about how you can access the body of knowledge, it's a free download. We did have electronic versions that are on a USB, like a credit card. They have sold out of the original version, but once we have the 4 chapters available, we will be issuing those again if people wish to purchase those. We did never intend to have a hard copy of the OHS Body of Knowledge. It was always intended to be electronic, but we did produce a hard copy as a result of high demand, and those people who hold a hard copy, we will be looking at how we can update that hard copy with the new chapters. So it does become available in a number of different formats. So I guess the last but not least comment is that go to the Body of Knowledge website. The material is freely available. There is a feedback sheet. If you would like to give us feedback, if you would like to give us suggestions, if you would like to respond to the current chapters, the new chapters, please do so. We would really like feedback.